with an AEW star talking about retirement and more. This is Wrestling Hub. My name is John, and you're watching the Wrestling Report. Before we get into the rest of the video, make sure you subscribe to Wrestling Hub and turn on all notifications to stay up to date with everything in the world of pro wrestling. Also, don't forget to follow us on Instagram at Wrestling Hub Official and follow us on Twitter at Wrestling_Hub. Apologizing for taking his position as Senior VP of Live Events in WWE, Road Dogg sent a message to AEW's Jarrett on his podcast. Look, you could be doing your job, and one day someone not like it, and the next day you're not there. Bless his heart, I'm so sorry. It hurts me when you say that, but I bet it hurts him a hell of a lot more. I'm so sorry, Jeff. When asked why a feud between the Four Horsewomen of WWE and MMA did not take place, Marina Shafir told The Sessions, "Hey, egos were at play. There are too many cooks in the kitchen sometimes, in more ways than one. I feel like I never knew this, but I just feel like professional wrestling was a little more exclusive back in the day. It wasn't just about politicking. It was about really showing respect, not kissing ass or feeling like you have to give something up of yourself to take it to the next level." With him having been out of action for a few weeks and recently seen in a walking boot, Montez Ford gave an update on his health, telling the Today Show 100% now, should be back pretty soon. Just picking spots and making sure when I arrive, the mission is still at hand, which is with my right-hand man, Angelo Dawkins. That's winning the undisputed WWE Tag Team Championship. Revealing who assists her with promos in AEW, Saraya told the AEW Unrestricted podcast that me and Renee Paquette both kind of got the calls at the same time for AEW. She was influential in my decision to join. With her being on AEW TV, helps it a lot. She just meshes all the segments together flawlessly and perfectly. People don't realize how creative she is too, because she didn't get to let her creative juices flow very much. Touching on Braun, Strowman calling out flippy floppy wrestlers on Twitter after his match at Crown Jewel. Baron Corbin said on After the Bell, "I think yeah, do you, but whatever it is, stand behind it. If you cower and back down after, then you didn't really mean it. You were doing it for clout, doing it for show, doing it for social media. I don't do anything for social media, and I also don't go out and label myself whatever it is. If you're gonna go out and tweet, I'm the greatest big man this business has ever seen, if you're saying it and you're the one that's having to put the title, nobody else is saying it about you, then you're full of crap. And so, if you're gonna go out there and you're gonna bash little guys, look, I have some respect for guys like Rey Mysterio, who have done unbelievable things at his size and his stature, and he is iconic. And there will be a lot of people that will come along in the future that will get compared to him and want to be him, but there will never be another Rey Mysterio. There is a place for those guys like we talked about. It may not be the main event, but there is a place for them. So if you're gonna go out on social media and say those things, and the minute people start firing back at you, you back down or you cower away or you try to say it was a joke, that's when I get irritated. Stand behind what you say. Be a man and back it up. And also for me, I'm going out there for 10 years now. I've irritated people and not cared how they felt. My job is not to make anybody who watches what I do happy. That is not my job. For right now, Braun, that is his job. His job is to go out, get people excited. He's on that side of the fence. He's a good guy, if you will. And so to go out and do that, I don't understand it, but I think that you should take pride in being a big man and putting on a show like that, but the minute you have to tell people how good you are and make up your own star rating, I'm out. recalling the late great Roddy Piper being stabbed at a Mid-Atlantic Championship Wrestling show. Sergeant Slaughter told Bill after, "We were watching an Ivan Kowalski match and standing there watching, and we saw in the hallway, this gentleman was beating this little girl, his granddaughter or whatever it was. So Roddy said, I don't like that. By the time I got there, the incident had already happened. As soon as I got into the arena again and Roddy got him down, and there were two police officers, one with a gun pointed at that man's head, and the chamber was going back, and the other cop told him not to shoot. Touching on his prior feuds with Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns told The Ringer that it was just a perfect recipe of two performers who want to be the best, and both have pretty legitimate claims to that territory. And when you get two guys who compete, it's not backstabbing. We're looking each other in the eyes, and we're telling each other, I'm better than you, and if you don't show me, then this is the end of the road for you. People probably said, oh God, not Brock and Roman again, and then we go out there and deliver a classic. When asked why he only called 6 matches at the Full Gear event for AEW, commentator for the company Jim Ross noted on his podcast, Tony Khan wanted me to work the first 6 matches and I did, and then I was done. I'd like to have worked the last match, obviously as a fan, as a broadcaster. I'm a big fan of Jon Moxley. I was kind of thinking it was going to be MJF's night. It seemed like it was time. We'll see how that works out. I hope it works out great. We'll see. MJF has got to take ownership of the championship and be that great leader that we need him to be. As you can see, he looked great. He was in great shape, or the best shape he's ever been in. So it was interesting in that respect. I thought they had a solid match. I watched the match back on my iPad because I went back to the hotel when I was finished with my assignment and I got there in time to watch. I kind of double dipped. I watched the last quarter of the Bedlam game, Oklahoma and Oklahoma State on my TV, and I watched the pay-per-view on my iPad, the rest of it. So it was an interesting deal. I don't normally leave early, but I was done, finished, and did what I needed to have done, and we moved on. I liked the show. Thought it was a good show. The first half that I did, the matches I thought were pretty damn strong. Some stronger than others. That's just the nature of the beast. But I thought it was a good show. I really did. I enjoyed it. I thought the talents worked their ass off. Thought it was well booked. The matches all seemed to have meaning. The dots were all being connected well. So I thought that was a good scenario. It was fun. I would have liked to have worked more, but that's always going to be the case. I'm an old ball player. I want to play, but I was happy to do what I did, and hopefully the folks enjoyed it. Talking to Steve Fall of 10 Count about why she made her WWE comeback, Mia Yim answered, Triple H. I have a lot of respect for him, and when I found out that he took over, he was bringing all my friends back, and it was the right time, right place. Working under him with NXT has been so fun. It's so easy to talk to him that it was an easy decision for me to come back with him in charge for sure. Ever since day one, since meeting him, he just has that vibe that you can approach him about anything. If something's going on that you need time off, or if you have a creative idea, it's just so easy to just approach him. I don't know. It's his energy. It's his vibe. Speaking about his brother Cody Rhodes, who is recovering from injury following his WWE return, Dustin Rhodes mentioned how he wishes the star was still with AEW, saying the talk is Jericho kind of down a little bit, but Cody is still young. I mean, there's such an age gap, 16 years, so he's kind of in his prime now, but watching him return to WrestleMania was just huge, and I'm not going to miss any of his stuff. He's on the rise to become a champion. I really think he set the tone for that in his last 8 years of work and things that he's done that he's built up. He's very professional. He's very different than I am. We're two completely opposite people. I mean, he has that creative mind like my dad had. I'm more the grunt, the worker in the family, but he is surpassing everything. He's doing amazing. It's great, but yeah, I wish he was still here. Talking about retirement, Dustin Rhodes also mentioned that he doesn't want to end up like the Nature Boy. As he said, that's a tough question, man. It's in my blood. I look at Ric Flair in his supposed last match, and I don't want to do that. As long as I can get out of the business and still walk, because I do need a couple of knee replacements, but that's fine. I'll get knee replacements. I'll be fine. I'll be able to walk around. But I just remember getting in the business and seeing a couple of the old timers on walkers and in wheelchairs, and I'm like, I don't want to get to that point. But we throw our bodies around, and eventually something's going to happen. So if I can get out of the business while I can still kind of semi-enjoy walking at least and enjoy the rest of my life, that's fine. But I love the business, so I want to be connected to it in some way. Whether it's just backstage coaching or whatever, because I really love coaching. It's a lot of fun for me. A lot of people don't like it. I love it. I love putting together stuff for these kids to try to figure out, and my vision is always different than their vision. And I see them doing it, and it's not my vision, and it makes me mad. But it's what they see my vision as being. So I understand it, and and I'm patient with that. I love to tell them, hey man, you did this, do this next time, and then they go out and do it and it works for them. So that's kind of the knowledge that I want to pass on. So that's my legacy now, is passing on my knowledge to the younger kids. During an interview with Vulture, MJF touched on fans having a positive reaction to him recently, as he said, I think the reason why I'm so freaking cool and super humble and super rad and super beloved by everyone that comes across my path is because right now we live in an era in 2022 where everybody is terrified to speak their mind. I think the biggest mistake anybody can make is putting stock in what people have to say that you wouldn't go to for an opinion. I'm not calling the guy who has an egg profile on Twitter that's just tweeted out, oh, I don't think I like the way MJF wears his scarves. There's no part of me that's like, damn, I need to call at WetWillie6969 and ask him his opinion on my scarves. I think that's a big issue with my generation. I just think people love authenticity, and I think the name of the game is authenticity. In a fake world, people want to see real people, and there's nobody realer than me. MJF would also touch on Logan Paul's performance against Roman Reigns at Crown Jewel, telling Barstool Sports, so he literally, his knee just exploded, literally in one match. And by the way, Logan Paul, you did an incredible job at Crown Jewel. I thought he did an absolutely transcendent, major, incredible job, but yeah, he found out that this sport is really, really hard on your body. And this was your pro wrestling news update. I hope you're all having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see y'all later.